I'm 2 months. What is it now? March. We just entered March. Oh, almost Women's Day. So not just enter March. We're fully on March. Uh, but anyway, long story short, that means I am January, February, and I'm almost 3 months of ownership into the ownership of the Tesla Model Y. And what do I feel? How do I feel about it? Is it still a good idea? Um, Let me tell you about it. The car is fantastic. The car has been great. I cannot complain about it because all the perks, all the feats, all the fantastic stuff car promises, it's there. Every single thing. Now I'm at the supercharger, and one thing I'm gonna complain about is not having a charger at home because I have to go through these every time. But that's a personal problem that maybe you don't have, or that maybe you don't mind. Um, oh, I haven't experienced this yet, but all my charges, because I'm still on the promotional, I still have supercharging for free, and that goes until, well, I have 12 days left of supercharging for free. So I have no idea how much am I going to end up paying once my promotional is over. Is it dark? Is it too dark? That doesn't do anything. Anyway, so I cannot say anything in regards charging and the costs of charging because so far all my charging has been for free. That means, and that means, when I got the car, I had about 1,200 miles because it was new, but this was a tester. This was one of those cars they have at the Tesla dealership, so for people to test, and then because of that, it was also a little cheaper. Which reminds me, if you're looking for a Tesla, check out my redemption, my link below, so you can get up to $2,500 discount because Tesla is giving you a $2,500 discount. Depends on the model you're going for. That may apply or no. There's different values, there's different amounts that will apply. Depends on which model you're going for. The Cybertruck, the Y, the X, the 3. There's different tiers, but you still get a discount, a pretty good discount. And take into account that this year, maybe the last year, you also get the $7,500 incentive the government gives for buying an electric car. So maybe a good idea to, get ahead and do it. The new version of this car is available, as you know, but then also, as you know, there's a bunch of Model Ys, just like this one, that's still out for sale, and that Tesla is actually discounting even more. Um, but long story short, coming back to having the car and living with the car, yeah, it's been great. Um, 4,496 miles. That means that in the almost 3 months of ownership, I've put a little over 3,000 miles, which is about 1,000 miles per month. Not bad. Basically standard. That's pretty much what everybody does. I think I need to drive more. I need to make a little more road tripping, which I thought it was going to be more difficult. Not at all. It's been great. I went to the Keys, and the whole way down, I was just, it was just a swift, awesome trip. It was great. Cannot complain. Um, yeah, something I really don't think is helping out is the political scenario going on at the moment. Even though most of you watching this probably disconnected from politics, because who really likes politics other than the politicians? Um, but it affects everything. It affects everybody. So unfortunately, it's also affecting having a Tesla, and hopefully, it doesn't affect you. Uh, it's by far the best car I ever owned. Unfortunately, there's some stuff going on in the background that kind of tarnishes the great quality, the great engineering that's behind this car, and that's a kind of a pain in the ass. But uh, I mean, if you can live with it, if you live in a pretty chill society town where people don't really care much about those things because they have common sense, and they're a little more real than judging you based on type of car you drive, not because of the messages that come around that brand or that company, but because of the quality, because of the service the car gives. Hopefully that's the case, and hopefully, not just hopefully, for the most part that's the case. I haven't had a single incident. I haven't had any single bad experience myself. Most of what I hear, most of what I see, it's online for the most part. Most of all the stories about the bad rap that the brand is getting, it only lives online. And if you ask me personally, I feel that is kind of like a trick that it's happening for a reason. If you ask me, investors, very powerful investors, have a chance to lower down the value of specific stock so that they can buy a ton of that stock because they know that eventually that brand is going to again become extremely valuable. If you ask me, I think that's the case. But I am not a very powerful nothing. So basically, what I just said is just that. It's an opinion. It's an opinion based on sole facts that I learned in the internet. Nothing else. So take it as you will. If valid or no, again, I have no reliable sources or any way to prove it right or wrong. None. So just a theory, just an opinion. Coming back to owning the car, fantastic. I have so much space and I'm filling it up. I'm using the frunk for uh, volleyball, for pickleball rackets. I'm using the frunk for a water jug, um, uh, my snorkeling gear. I'm using the frunk for what else? I have an umbrella. I have a hammock. I have some. What else I have in there? I don't even remember. I found some pants there the other day. I didn't remember putting there. And then in back, even more space. I have my skateboard there now, and I have the not every day because it's pretty big and kind of a mess to put it there. But my paddleboard, my inflatable paddleboard, is also most of the time there. It's a bunch of space underneath, like in the trunk. You have the flat space. That's amazing for naps. That's amazing for sleeping on. It's amazing. But underneath, you have the other space underneath that people use for. If you go online, you can find fridges. They design fridges, refrigerators that fit that space perfectly. I'm not gonna do that because I don't see myself using a fridge that big for many reasons. The United States is pretty rare that at any moment you are too far from a supermarket. I know people go out camping in the wild, in the pretty wild, but I'm not that big of a camper, to be honest. I love to travel, but like raw, real, hardcore camping. But then again, you see the internet, and people do it. People do it in these cars. People do it in the Model 3, even though it's not a hatchback. Even though they have that uh, column, that no, that vertical in the back. when they throw the back seat down, and they use it to sleep like you do on this one, and they still have that thing in the middle, and even though they have that, they're using the car for camping heavily. And I do sometimes, but not that intense, not that raw. I don't do too much primitive camping. Um, every now and then, maybe, but it's not like my favorite thing to do. I have no updates as far as how much does it cost to drive the car. I have no updates about. Oh, FSD. Freaking thing is fantastic. FSD is the shit. Thing is, it basically does what it says it does. It drives almost anywhere, even roads with no lines. Even when you enter a gravel road and there's no really good clear pathway as far as the lines and which one goes where. No, even though those type of scenarios, FSD takes over and does an amazing job the driving around, making its way down, even if it's not a GPS road, which is, in my opinion, it's amazing, based on cameras only for the most part, because this model only has cameras. As far as I know, I'm not an engineer. I'm not gonna touch absolutely anything in the car ever, because this is just stuff out of my realm. Um, so it does an amazing job taking you from A to B almost anywhere. Something that I do find annoying is that it is supervised. So this camera, there's a camera right here, and it's always, let me see, yeah, it's getting dark, but this is not helping at all. So let's just keep the lights off and keep going like that. So camera, there's a camera right here looking at you the whole time, and that camera makes sure that you're looking at the road and that you're ready to take over at any moment, which is great. It's just there to make things safer. Fantastic, awesome. But at the same time, the second you look down at your phone, boom, it's gonna scream, it's gonna light up, and it's gonna tell you to stop doing that shenanigans and to pay attention to the road once again. And again, it's all for the safety, right? Fantastic. But at the same time, it's very annoying, and you get strikes. So they give you strikes if screens start to scream. If you start to get the notices and stuff and you don't react quickly enough, then gonna give you a strike. You get 5 of those and you lose access to FSD for an amount of time. So, and they reset. They take about a week to reset. So if you hit 5, then you're not gonna have access to FSD for a week, I think. Well, that hasn't happened to me. The full deactivation of FSD has not happened yet, because I've tried to stay below the 5 strikes. But what does happen, I have witnessed, it does happen, is that you get 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes, and then so long that as long as you keep driving and don't get any more, it takes a week from the moment of the last strike for them to reset. So if you hit your 4th strike on a Tuesday, the next Tuesday you'll get a reset and you'll be fresh for 5 more strikes. No, try not to get any more strikes. I try hard, but anyway, so that is amazing. FSD is amazing. Parks. Anytime you get to a parking lot and then boom, you just hit the screen and the car parks on its own. I love that freaking thing. And then it can begin driving even from parking. Well, as long as you don't have a code, like you can activate the safety code, so you don't, even if somebody steals your wallet with your card or your phone, even somebody who has access to those items, They will get in the car, but they will not be able to drive the car unless they also have your 4-digit PIN. You can set up a PIN in the car so that the car will not move unless you enter the PIN. Now, that's amazing. It's a very complex mix of things that need to happen for somebody to steal your car, but that's just an addition, just another layer that you can apply for safety. But unfortunately, that thing is not gonna let you start FSD from parking. So you need to get your code cleared out, and then you'll be able to start FSD. But it's not gonna let you start from parked. It's a little thing, but just to mention it. The car gets smarter and smarter and smarter every day. Every single time there's an update, it just blows my mind. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of engineering and coding and how great the car has become. Every time there's an update, the car just gets smarter, and I think that's an amazing thing. I'm very curious to see what happens once my trial period of supercharging ends. I want to start to see how much do I need to start paying for charging, because I still don't have charging at home, so that's not a thing. And I have found some chargers here and there for free. Um, sometimes you have to go somewhere and buy something or whatever, and that's fine. But for the most part, supercharging is the best option. It's the fastest. It's the most convenient. And we're almost done charging. That was a fast session because I was a little over 20%, so we're almost done. I can't say only good things about the car so far. The cost, well, the cost is a little more than regular cars, but I think that you're getting your savings. When you go online and you see the prices of the cars, and they do add the marketing banner of how much you save on gas per year, it makes a little more sense, a little sense. But again, I have not real value. I have no real numbers to share with you yet as far as if that really is the case or no. So stay tuned. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting a new one, the new version, or 2024, 2025 Model Y with this setup, the setup I have, which I recommend. I love the car. I've seen the new one. I've seen a couple already here in South Florida, and it looks nice. But personally, I like this shape better. I like it. I like the shape of this car better than the new one. I don't like the I don't like the line, and I think the back is a bit too flat. There's no really curves in the car, and I like curves. I like curves. I like the curves on cars and on girls. I like curves. And that's all I have to say for now. I hope I don't get any strikes or anything anymore, because I'm almost my thing is almost deactivated. And what are the days today? The 8th, 7, the 8th. I will finish. I will be 3 months into the ownership of the car on the 20th. On March 20th is my 20 or 21st. I gotta check, but I will have 3 months then, and then I make another update. Stay tuned. Have an amazing rest of your day. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. That's very appreciated. Have a good day. See you soon. Bye bye.